Good evening, viewers. You're watching news at 9 p.m. on Som TV, the pulse of the nation. We are beaming our signal from the nature's gift to the nation. Connect with us. Follow us on Facebook at Som TV and stream live on YouTube at Som TV Live. Here are the leading stories shaping the headlines today. Nigerians' labor movement divided over fresh minimum wage hike. Political tension escalates in Kaduna following clashes at RFI-linked meeting, while in another report, 289 APC members defect to PDP in Jigawa as PDP expanded caucus reaffirms loyalty. Rivers State local government elections commended for orderly polling and high voter turnout, as other reports said the suspended Rivers governor Siminalayi Fubara and supporters largely boycott election. International news. EU foreign ministers divided over sanction on Israel. And on business news, Nigeria and Brazil begin talk to strengthen economic and financial cooperation. Entertainment news. Onyinyechi Basil crowned Miss Universe Nigeria 2025. Sport news. Morocco defeats Madagascar to win record third CHAN title. I am Bridget James, and now the news in full. Report reaching us indicate that Nigerian labor movement remains sharply divided over a fresh minimum wage increase following recent hike in Imo and Ebonyi State. While Imo raised its wage to 104,000 naira and Ebonyi to 90,000 naira, labor leaders in Yobe, Niger, Ogun, Ekiti, Lagos, and Anambra called for a nationwide review to match rising living costs, with a proposal ranging from 110,000 naira to 150,000 naira. Conversely, leaders in Plateau, Benue, and Akwa Ibom describe an immediate increase as premature, citing physical pressure and security challenges. The debate underscores tension between workers' welfare and demands and states' capacity to complement higher wages. Meanwhile, political tension is rising in Kaduna State after violent clashes at a meeting attended by former Governor Nasir El-Rufai. The Kaduna State Police Commander suspended all authorities, political gatherings, reporting that thugs armed with cutlasses, clubs, and stone attacked participants and vandalized vehicles during the inauguration of Opposition Transition Committee. Preliminary investigations suggest the gathering was convened without notifying security agencies, and gunshots were allegedly fired by political operatives linked to El-Rufai. While the APC denied involvement, tension persists within the ADC, with some members accusing El-Rufai of hijacking party structures ahead of the 2027 election. Similarly, political and electoral developments were in focus in Jigawa State, where no fewer than 289 members of the ruling APC officially defected to the PDP in Sakwaya Ward, Duse local government area. The defection took place at the PDP ward office with the party's deputy state chairman, Umar Danjani, representing the state chairman to welcome the new members. In related news, the PDP expanded caucus in Jigawa State, expressing strong support for the party's national leadership, pressing the NWC, BOT, and NEC for revitalization effort ahead of upcoming election. Speaking through State Publicity Secretary Umar Kyari, the caucus reaffirmed loyalty to former Governor Sule Lamido and the State Working Committee led by Babandi Gumel, signaling grassroots cohesion. Members also commended Jigawa's National Assembly lawmakers for developmental projects and empowerment initiative, urging INEC to sanction staff involved in recent electoral misconduct and calling for unity and adherence to national leadership decision. Turning to electoral processes, observers commended the conduct of security personnel and voters during Saturday's Rivers State local government election. Dr. Gabriel Mwambu, head of mission for the Rivers local government poll observation, he said 330 observers monitored all 23 council, reporting no incident of intimidation, violence, or vote buying. He praised the police and joint task force for maintaining security and assisting observers, noting high voters' turnout and orderly polling. The election concluded with the APC winning 20 chairmanship seats and the PDP securing 3. Key results included APC victories in Ahoda East with 84,125, Asari Toru 56,395 and Kaha with 156,027, when PDP won Obio Akpo with 328,888 and Anega 51051. However, report has it that the suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his supporters largely boycotted the election, including in his hometown of Opoho, despite prior assurance of participation. The poll, conducted under a state of emergency declared by President Tinubu in March, saw the APC dominate, winning 20 of 23 chairmanship seats, while the PDP secured 3. Minister of FCT Nyesom Wike and Administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ibas Ete retired. He praised the peaceful conduct and voters' turnout, particularly in rural areas. Observers noted low city participations and logistical delays, but legal experts and supporters argue Fubara should be reinstated after the emergency rule expires on September 18th. In security operations, troops of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai neutralized 12 suspected Boko Haram terrorists after operations in various locations of Mafa local government area, Borno State. Sources confirmed that assaulted arms and ammunition were recovered during the operations. Similarly, the Ondo State Police Command apprehended 100 individuals allegedly involved in criminal activities across the state, 18 local government areas. The arrests, announced by Commissioner of Police Adebowale Lawal, included suspects linked to murder, kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, drugs-related offenses, fraud, theft, vandalism, and illegal arm possession. Lawal credited the operations to collaborations with residents who provided critical intelligence, recovering firearms ammunition, stolen vehicles, motorcycles, forged documents, fake number plates, and assaulted stolen goods. Meanwhile, the police command in Oyo State arrested a male driver allegedly in possession of 1 million naira in fake currency. The suspect was apprehended by the command's Federal Highway Patrol team during a stop and search operation on Friday. Tragically, at least 13 people died and over 20 remain missing after a boat carrying villagers fleeing armed attack capsized in Birnin Magaji, Zamfara State. The incident occurred when multiple communities were attacked, prompting residents to rush onto an overcrowded boat. District head Maidama Dankilo confirmed 13 bodies recovered and 22 rescued, with 22 still missing. Zamfara has experienced over 50 violent incidents, affecting more than 1,000 people between July 2024 and June 2025. According to SBM Intelligence, authorities are yet to provide updates on ongoing rescue efforts. Turning to governance and fiscal policy, the federal government has directed all ministries, departments, and agencies to exclude Consultants Corp members and other non-permanent staff from their 2026 personal budgets. The directive mandates that only permanent employees be reflected in payrolls, with unauthorized payments attracting sanctions. Corp members' allowances will be covered under the NYSC budget, while additional stipend must come from overhead allocation. The government also barred anticipatory promotions and announced a personal costs monitoring dashboard linked to IPPIS and GIFMIS for real-time expenditure tracking. Report for 2024 and early 2025 will be published by September 2025. On energy and infrastructure development, Nigerians' daily gas production rose to 7.59 billion standard cubic feet per day in July 2025, with gas flaring falling to 7.16%, according to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Additionally, Jigawa Governor Umar Namadi commissioned the 500 kWp solar hybrid mini-grid in Kafin Hausa local government area, valued at 1.2 billion naira in partnership with Future Emerges Africa and Kano Electricity Distribution Company. The project includes a 3.5-kilometer and a 33 kV distribution line supplying 10 major areas and aim to boost agriculture, agro-processing, irrigation, and local businesses, supporting sustainable development and economic resilience. In agriculture, YFAM, a multipurpose cooperative, launched its flagship rice distribution hub and fractional farmland ownership model in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, in partnership with the Factory Company Limited. The 10,000 hectares YFAM multipurpose farm estate. The project will cultivate rice, maize, poultry, beef, and fish, leveraging mechanization, GPS mapping, and precision agriculture. The initiative aims to strengthen food security, enable members to profit from farmland, and promote long-term rural welfare creation, with a goal of reaching 1 million members nationwide. In education, the federal government has finalized a comprehensive review of curricula for basic, senior secondary, and technical education. The revision, announced by Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Saheed Ahmed, involve key stakeholders including the Nigerian Educational Research and Developmental Council, UBEC, the National Senior Secondary School Education Commission, and NBTE. The new framework reduces content overload, improves learning outcome, and ensures practical skills acquisition. Primary 1 to 3 students will take 9 to 10 subjects, primary 4 to 6, 10 to 12, junior secondary will take 12 to 14, senior secondary 8 to 9, and technical schools 9 to 11. Implementation will be faced with strict monitoring to ensure smooth nationwide adoption. Furthermore, educational recognition came from Bauchi State, where the NYSC orientation camp was renamed after the late educationist Malam Yusuf Muhammad Baba to honor his contributions. State of Health Service Sani Umar highlighted efforts to improve education, including recruiting more teachers and converting about 10-day schools into boarding schools. Symposium's convener, Adamu Yashi, described Baba as disciplined, humble, and dedicated, whose legacy spans teaching, administration, and community service. Baba was also the oldest biological brother and guardian of Governor Bala. In governance and digital innovation, the Anambra State government is accelerating its digital transformation agenda, aiming to position the state as Nigerians' hope for technology and the creative economy. Chukwuemeka Agbata, Managing Director of the state's ICT agency, reaffirmed Governor Chukwuma Soludo's commitment highlighting initiatives including infrastructure investment, digital skills development, broadband expansion through waive right-of-way fees, and support for innovation and entrepreneurship. On public health, the Akwa Ibom state government launched an investigation into the death of a young mother and her newborn at General Hospital, Ikong, Ebene, following a Keresian section. Governor Pastor Umo Eno directed Health Commissioner Dr. Ikem Emmanuel John to set up a commission of inquiry to examine the incidents, gathered stakeholders' account, and recommend preventive measures, reaffirming the administration's commitment to reducing maternal mortality. In social policy, Senator Asuquo Ekpeyong of Cross Rivers South reaffirmed his commitment to advancing the suicide prevention bill aimed at discriminalizing attempted suicide and establishing a national framework for mental health support. Ekpeyong met with members of Suicide Prevention Advocacy, working with groups ahead of World Suicide Prevention Day to discuss strategies for prevention and awareness, highlighting Nigerians' high youth suicide rate and stigma caused by criminalization. In religious affairs, the Sokoto state government introduced monthly allowance for imams, their debatees and muazzins, alongside allocations to Jumaat mosques to strengthen Islamic preparations and Quranic memorization. Governor Ahmed Aliyu announced the measures during the graduation of 111 Quran memorizers from the Sheikh Dahiru Usman Bauchi Foundation. Monthly mosque allocation ranged from 300,000 naira to 500,000 naira, while clerics receive allowances to support their duties. Graduates also received 20,000 naira and clothing. The governor emphasized Islamic affairs as central to his administration agenda and urged the establishment of a permanent school site. In diplomacy, the Vice President of Colombia, Francia Marcouk, arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for a 3-day official visit expected to strengthen diplomatic and strategic ties between Nigeria and Colombia. Finally, the family of former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Aras, confirmed his death at age 69. According to his son, Solomon Aras Jr., he passed away on Sunday, August 31, 2025, at the Cardiac Arrest Hospital, Abuja, after a brief illness. Aras, who served as Nigerian 18th IGP and also held positions as chairman of the Police Service Commission and member of Body of Benchers, he was described as a distinguished public servant with arrangements for his funeral on the way. We'll take a short break now, but don't go anywhere. The major stories, the sharpest insight, and the voices that truly matters are still coming your way. Only on Som TV, your gateway to the truth. Please don't go away.
Welcome to the new digital face of the Taraba State Internal Revenue Service (TRIS), a modern, secure, and efficient revenue management system designed to make tax administration seamless for both taxpayers and administrators. To get started, visit www.etaxtirs.net. Taxpayer registration is now quick and effortless. You can now pay your payee, withholding tax, director's fees, conduct direct assessment, pay development levy, and many more on the site. When on the eTax TIRS Net website, simply click Make Payments for all forms of taxpayer or register for recurring payments and future login. Kindly provide the required details as prompted, and the system will instantly create a secure, centralized profile ready for assessments, invoices, and tracking. Generating payment receipts takes only a few clicks. 1. Select the revenue head and service. 2. Enter amount. 3. Enter other details. 4. An official invoice will be generated immediately. Payments can be made securely online using ATM cards, bank transfers, and other payment options. The system enables accurate tax assessments and swift issuance of demand notices. Tax clearance certificates can now be requested and issued within minutes. Tax filing is simpler, faster, secure, more accurate, and easier to recall for records purposes. Tax administrators can now enjoy a real-time dashboard for tax monitoring, tracking, and comprehensive reporting for informed decision-making. The Taraba State Internal Revenue Service (TRIS) is redefining revenue collection with technology that ensures efficiency, transparency, and improved taxpayer experience. This tax management system, the FlowPay, is powered by iTech Platform Limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Ko Chiefdom, and a true prince to the House of Mayamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of our people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.
Welcome back. We're glad you're still here with us. Let's dive straight into the next big development on international news. The Global Samud flotilla has departed Barcelona, Spain, on a humanitarian mission to break Israel's blockade of Gaza amidst a conflict that has left over 63,000 Palestinians dead. The convoy, comprising activists, European lawmakers, and high-profile campaigners, including Greta Thunberg. It will carry aid and document conditions in the enclave, which the UN recently declared in famine. Participants representing 44 countries emphasized the mission's symbolic and legal significance under international law. Previous attempts to reach Gaza by sea were blocked by Israel. The flotilla is expected to arrive in mid-September highlighting global concern over the humanitarian crisis and deliberate starvation of Palestinians. EU Foreign Minister met in Copenhagen on August 30, 2025, to discuss Israel's assault on Gaza, which has killed over 63,000 people since October 2023. Deep divisions emerged. Spain and Iran called for economic curbs and an arms embargo, which Germany and Hungary opposed sanction. EU aids chief urged a strong voice, and Denmark proposed sanction against Netanyahu's government. The bloc failed to reach consensus despite public protests across Europe demanding action. European Commissioner Hadja Lahib stressed the moral urgency, warning the tragedy in Gaza will be judged by history. On business news, Nigeria and Brazil have begun talks to enhance economic and financial cooperation, focusing on payment system, fintech, and mobile money expansion. The discussion held in Brasilia during President Bola Tinubu's visit involved CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso and his Brazilian counterpart, Gabriel Galipo. The agreements concluded technical meetings on mandatory policy, financial stability, and regulatory cooperation. Cardoso highlighted the potentials for knowledge exchange in digital finance and the role of Brazil's Afro-Brazilian community in boosting remittance and financial linkages. Galipolo welcomed the initiative, affirming Brazil's commitment to deepen collaboration, strengthen financial stability, and promote shared prosperity between the two nations. The Oyo State Police Command has arrested a driver for allegedly transporting 1 million naira in counterfeit currency. The driver, operating a green Toyota Sienna with a Lagos registration FKJ 443YG, was stopped by the Federal Highway Patrol near Guru Maharaj on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Suspicious behavior led officers to discover fake 100,000 notes totaling approximately 1 million naira with serial numbers 235923, 235922, and 235921. The driver claimed he received the package in Ojota, Lagos, en route to Osogbo, believing it contained body cream and knowing neither the sender nor recipient. Police reiterated their commitment to combating counterfeit currency. Entertainment news. Onyinyechi Basil, representing Anambra State, has been crowned Miss Universe Nigeria 2025 following an intense competition in Lagos. She emerged victorious over Miss Lagos, Damilola Olarinde, in the grand finale. Miss Bayelsa Fortune Kurobo and Miss Ogun Irene Ikedeshi finished as second and third runner-up, respectively, while Miss Akwa Ibom Ida Eno claimed the title of Miss Supernatural Nigeria 2025. The event featured 22 contestants, celebrated Nigerians' culture, fashion, and inclusivity, with the top 10 advancing to the final rounds. Basil succeeds Chidima Adeshima and will represent Nigeria at the Global Miss Universe pageant later this year. The National Commission for Museums and Monuments, in collaboration with IHS Nigeria, has launched the country's first digital museum of antiquities, making a major milestone in Nigerians' cultural preservation. The online platform features over 200 3D scanned artifacts, including Benin bronzes, NOK terracotta, and ancient Ife culture, complete with historical notes and audio guides. Collections from across Nigeria are being digitized, making heritage accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Minister Hannatu Musawa described the project as a benchmark for public-private partnerships, while IHS Nigeria emphasized its role in promoting culture, education, technology-driven community development. On sports, Morocco have defeated Madagascar 3-2 to clinch a record South African Nations Championship title at Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. Madagascar initially took the lead through Felicite Monohanswa in the 9th minute, but Morocco equalized via Youssef Mourin's header in the 27th minute and then went ahead before halftime with a Lomilio goal. Madagascar leveled in the 68th minute, only for Lomilio to score a sensational 50-yard strike in the 80th minute. Sealing Morocco's historic victory, the Atlas Lion now hold the record for most CHAN title, while Madagascar made a commendable debut in a continental finals. And that's where we wrap up tonight's broadcast. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Nigeria's labor movement remains sharply divided after fresh minimum wage hikes, with calls for nationwide review from some states, while others caution against immediate increase due to fiscal pressure. In political development, tension escalates in Kaduna following clashes at a meeting linked to former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, while in Jigawa, 289 members of the ruling APC defected to the PDP, with the state expanded caucus reaffirming loyalty to party leadership. Turning to Rivers State, local government elections were commended for orderly polling and high voters turnout, even as the suspended governor Siminalayi Fubara and his supporters largely boycott the poll. On the international front, EU foreign ministers remain divided over potential sanctions on Israel amidst the ongoing Gaza conflict. In business, Nigeria and Brazil have begun talks aimed at strengthening economic and financial cooperation, particularly in digital finance and mobile money. Celebrating national pride in entertainment, Onyinyechi Basir was crowned Miss Universe Nigeria 2025. While in sport, Morocco defeated Madagascar to clinch a record South African Nation Championship title. Stay with us for more compelling entertainment and breaking updates only on Psalm TV. I am Bridget James. It's been a privilege sharing tonight with you. From all of us here, we wish you peace to steady your path, progress to foil your dreams, and purpose to light your way. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.